Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas's high ankle injury is worse than originally believed. The 2019 Offensive Player of the Year is now expected to miss several weeks. Joining me now from Saints News Network is Kyle Mosley. Kyle, the Saints office struggled heavily on Sunday. If Thomas is out, what does this mean for New Orleans?
Well, first, the option is going to be Emmanuel Sanders becomes the number one wide receiver for the team. The team also will possibly bring up a couple of guys. They have Benny Fowler, who contributed on special teams, but he has grown comfortable enough with Breeze through training camp that I think he may be an option as well. And the Saints also have the University of Tennessee rookie Marquez Callaway as a possibility. He has a similar body type to Thomas. So I think right now the Saints, before scouring the free agent market, they're going to possibly look in-house.
Well, it sounds like the Saints have some options, but obviously not good news. But what does this mean from a fantasy football perspective? Here's SI's fantasy analyst Michael Fabiano for insight.
This is obviously huge news from a fantasy perspective, so let's break things down. First off, without Thomas, well, the Saints are going to be leaning on the run a heck of a lot more, which means Latavius Murray could have some standalone value as a flex starter until Thomas can return to the lineup. As for Drew Brees, well, he loses the top wide receiver in the National Football League, which means he's not nearly as attractive as a fantasy quarterback. So you're playing the matchups with Brees, and he'll lose some value this week starting off against the Las Vegas Raiders. At the wide receiver position, Emmanuel Sanders is probably owned across the board, and now he becomes the number one wide receiver for Brees, so he'll see an uptick in value. I also like Tre'Quan Smith. It's waiver wire time, so if Tre'Quan's available, and he most likely is, he is worth a look as well. And Jared Cook will be a big winner here too. Had a big game last week, and dating back to the second half of last season, he has been one of the top targets for Brees in the passing game. He's got his former team, the Raiders, this week in a revenge game. So Jared Cook suddenly becomes a more reliable and consistent number one tight end from a fantasy perspective. So again, breaking news here. Michael Thomas, according to Tom Pelissero, will miss several weeks with a high ankle sprain. For more information, and of course, for all the best fantasy football and gambling analysis out there, make sure you check out si.com/fantasy.